It's Powerback time on the Gutsy podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. Sometimes the bold move is not moving at all. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all sit around and watch paint dry, but when is the last time that you acknowledge that all the things that you've put so much time, effort, and energy into are actually starting to work? And instead of tinkering and fixing and making it more complicated, we simply allowed it to work. But there's a discomfort in there, isn't there? Things are not heightened. I don't have to fix something. I don't have to change things. I don't have to tinker and find the problem. Instead, things are working, they're flowing, they're happening. Where do I belong now? And this space, my friend, is the one we're talking about today. The space where we unintentionally create a mess so that we have something new to fix or clean up. All because our identity has been wrapped up in chaos. And who are we without the chaos? If this sounds like you, then buckle up, Buttercup, because this episode's got your name written all over it. As I'm recording this episode, we are about to head into 2026. So we're in that very end of year, things are wrapping up season, and also that period where we're thinking about what's happening next year. What are we planning for? What are our goals? What are our intentions? What are we striving for? And in the past, I normally go into the new year with like kind of a heavy hitter list, things that I want to work on, things I want to focus on, goals that I want to achieve. I've got numbers written down, like it's the whole thing. And I've noticed something very interesting this year. Maybe it's because I've spent the last 2 years building and creating and tinkering and figuring out my life in this new career as a speaker and a coach. I've had a lot of big things to focus on. More importantly, a lot of big things to figure out. But the end of this year, the end of 2025 is feeling incredibly different to me because I feel content. And I say that with just like a tiny bit of an asterisk italicized font, because sometimes when we say content, it might sound like you're settling. But I think that content can go a couple of different ways. And the way that I'm feeling content is I don't feel the need to push right now. I feel content in my offers, in my messaging, in the way that I'm serving people, the way that I'm doing things. Like I feel very content, meaning things feel good. They feel familiar. Things are working. And so in the space where I would normally be kind of hustling around and vision boarding and daydreaming and doing all this other stuff, it's like, I feel like I'm more in a marination period. Like I'm marinating in the things that are working. And so for the first time in a really, really, really long time, I'm going into the new year without a ton of big plans. Now, if you know me, I'm not doing nothing. Okay, let's be honest with that. Like there is one project in particular that I've not yet announced that I'm like out of my mind excited about telling you and bringing you along for the journey and the ride for. So there are things happening, but this is not like a new thing. It's new for me to like execute, but it's not new in my world. It's been in my orbit for quite some time. I'm not going into the new year sitting on my hands and not focusing on any kind of growth. Where my focus really is about enjoying the things that are working, going deeper in the stuff that I have spent so much time and energy and effort creating and building and fine tuning so that they could get to the place that they are working. I mean, literally, I'm just a few days shy of 2 years after selling my agency. That is wild for me to think about and even wrap my head around, because how has it been 24 months? ? And when I think back to the last 2 years, like I've done a lot of heavy lifting, figuring out how to navigate my life and my time in this new career, figuring out my messaging and who my right audience is and what the right offers for me and my audience are. And then the systems and the processes to back it up. Like I have literally spent 2 years building, creating, and refining a really strong foundation, but that was an intent that I went into with, right? This is now the third business that I've built. And I knew, I'm like, I'm going to do this one differently. And my focus is on building a strong foundation. When I spend the time, when I pull back, when I take a couple of hits, okay, more than a couple of hits in those first 2 years by being incredibly intentional about building a solid foundation, I know that the health and the opportunities of this business are limitless when we're building on a strong foundation. I've been evaluating what works and what drains me. What do I love? What makes me want to pull back? What do I want to be known for? What do I want people to say, hey, we need her on our stage to speak about this? Like, it's been so much refinement. And I'm really, truly happy to say that I have figured it out. That doesn't mean that things won't shift. It doesn't mean that there won't be new challenges or new opportunities, or I might get a wild hair at my ass with a brand new idea in 3 months. You know what I mean? Like I'm giving myself that grace and flexibility of allowing that to grow. But here's the hold, and here's the message that I want to really like sink into, anchor into with you today, is that things are working. And that has been a little bit uncomfortable. Now, ultimately, I mean, that's what we're all doing this shit for, right? It's like, oh, things are working, things are moving, like things are inbound, like there is flow in the business. And this doesn't have to pertain just to business. This can happen in anything that you're working on in your life right now. You know, when you kind of get to that stage where like things start working, okay, I'm a little hesitant, but also kind of cautiously optimistic. I'm feeling pretty good about stuff, but also I'm kind of like squinting my eyes a little bit saying, when's the shoe going to drop? When is this going to stop working? Where am I supposed to put my time and energy if I'm not fixing something or tinkering or making it work better or problem solving or calming the chaos? Where do I belong? And this is where we get ourselves in some sticky, stupid trouble. Because I started to do this and I caught myself very quickly. And it's the space where like things are starting to work. Doesn't mean that they're perfect, but you know what? There is some momentum. The stuff that you have put so much time, money, energy, effort into is like you're starting to see the train leave the station. And as much as you want that, okay, here's the mind fuck here. As much as you want that, you're uncomfortable with it, not because it's wrong, but because you're not used to it. You're used to being in survival mode. You're used to being in chaos slayer mode. I've got to fix things. There's a problem. There's something to talk about. There's something to complain about. There's something to cry about. And all that stuff still comes with everything, right? But you get in this flow where things start working and you're not needing to do any of that shit. So who are you outside of the chaos? Who are you in thriving versus survival? Who are you in receiving versus begging and scratching and clawing your way towards? This can happen in so many things, like when things start working in business or you're finally in a relationship that's nurturing you in a way that you are just not fucking used to. Maybe this is in communication with like your team or your boss at work, and like all of a sudden things are starting to move the right way. Or you're starting to see results in your health and you're like, oh, this is starting to work. This is feeling better. It's that whole, the doctor's like, take the antibiotics for the whole 10 days. And you're like, oh, day 7, I feel fine. And you stop taking it. It's that kind of mentality where we're not used to things working. You're used to waiting for things to work. So when we get into the place where it does start working, what do? We make a mess. We start an argument. We pile something back on. We go back to an old habit. We add in a whole new service. We say we're going to clean the whole house by next Tuesday. That's 3 days away. We create chaos so that we can feel familiar again, so that we can go back to the energy and the feelings that we want and we know. And it's not because you want to start a fight or because you want to eat up all your time or you want to cancel all your plans because now you're stressed out. No, you're doing it subconsciously because that's what you've known up until this point. See, when things are working, you don't have to be so on. You don't have to be tinkering and adjusting and figuring things out. You can relax. You can enjoy the things that you've already put so much time and effort into. You can enjoy the money that's starting to come to you. You can enjoy the moments in a relationship that's bringing you joy and happiness. You can enjoy your downtime and watch those movies that you've been wanting to watch or read the books that you've been wanting to read. But that feels so unfamiliar that stress kicks up, anxiety kicks in, your brain gets incredibly loud. What are you doing? The shame loves to come in. You need to be doing more things. You're not productive enough, right? Like it's this very weird kind of stretchy place in between. This is what I've been working towards and now I have it. So why do I feel like shit? And this is where the power move, the bold move, is not moving. We often associate making gutsy moves with doing more, taking a bigger risk, trying something new, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, like planning something big. And it absolutely can be those things and often is. But it's just as important and just as powerful to hold. Sometimes the bold move is not moving. It's not creating chaos again. It's not making a mess. It's not adding more things because you feel pressured to. Like right now in this season, if you're listening to this, especially at the end of 2025, what's the narrative right now? New year, new you, goal setting. What are you working on? What do you want to do? What's the bigger that you want? What's the more that you want? And it's very easy to feel pressured by society telling you that you should want more. When the reality is, do you want more? Or do you feel like you're supposed to want more? Sure, maybe there's a few areas in your life, maybe something that you want to focus on, something you want to just breathe some new fresh air or some new life back into. But do you really need to lose the weight? Do you really need to add more services to your business? Do you really need to change your income level from 100,000 to 500,000? The answer may be yes to some of those things, but is it with intent? Is that what you actually want? Or do you feel good in the progress that you're already making? You're probably already doing something towards these goals. Or maybe you've already achieved a milestone that you felt good about until the world told you that that's not enough. Or here's my favorite, when things are working and you're not being pulled in 80 different directions and you have more time to think, you get bored. So what do you do when you get bored? You create more work. You add something on, you put something back on your schedule, you get involved in a bunch of things. It's not necessary. And so this is where I'm telling you that the bold move sometimes is not moving. It's in the hold. It's in maintaining what you've already put so much time and energy and effort into. It's in allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself to really marinate in the work that you've already put in, the accomplishments that you've already achieved, the growth that you continue to put into. Sometimes the bold move is not moving by resting, by taking care of yourself, by saying, hey, you know what? This is working, or I'm on a path for this to work. I don't need to add more things in. In fact, dare I even say, what can you take away? How can you minimize this? How can you make this even more simplistic? Rest is productive. I know that your brain wants you to think otherwise, but truly, when you allow yourself to take care of yourself and you just breathe into the acknowledgement of what you've already done. What if instead of planning these big things and forcing yourself to do all this new shit, what if you instead acknowledge how far you've actually come? And then evaluate, what is the right next move for me? Is it to hold? Is it to just enjoy this season? Is it to not fix something or tinker or add something new in? Could I allow myself to just enjoy what I've created? It's uncomfortable as hell. And only because you're not used to it, not because it's wrong. So when I tell you that I'm going into a new year without a bunch of big plans, I'm being serious. I've realized that I don't have to do more things because the rest of the world is doing more things. In this particular season, I want to go deeper in the things that were once priorities and big moves from previous years. We're so quick to move on. Like, we don't even acknowledge the growth and the evolution that we've made. We just completely miss it because we're running. We're like, all right, check the box, on to the next one. What's the next big goal? And then when we have a hard time achieving it, or our stress is through the roof again, we're back to where we started. When you start to find the things that are working for you, give it a chance to stick around. Let it grow. Let it be a thing. Like, if you find a tool or an app that's working, stop looking for alternatives. Just simply use the thing that's working for you. If your relationship is fun again and you've got that spark back, don't stir the pot just because you're uncomfortable being happy. If your business has some flow to it, keep doing what you're doing. Don't add more shit just because you feel like you got to add more shit. If your health routine is working, you don't have to jump on the next fad that's happening on TikTok right now because other people are having success. What if in any of those situations, or the one that's popping up in your brain right now, what if your next bold move is to not change it, but simply to keep it, to hold in it, to allow yourself to receive the benefits of the work you've already put in? And then, when the time is right, there's nothing that seals us to a calendar year changing. If you get a new idea, or you're feeling intuitively drawn to something, or your creative juices start firing in a way that aligns with your goals and what you're working on and towards, you have every right then to make your next gutsy move. If you're feeling drawn to create something or add something in your business, then at that point, and it's got intention and you're really feeling excited about it, then you can go for it. If you've hit a plateau on your health journey and you want to take it up a notch, or you want to try some new things, you can go for it. Like, this is the thing, like, you have ownership of yourself. But do you feel the energetic difference with that? This is not coming out of a place of scarcity or chaos. This is coming out of a place of completion, of curiosity, of intuitive draws. I'm not stopping myself from coming up with new things or making changes next year. That puts an unintentional cap on myself. I'm just very intentionally saying I don't need to add more or do more right now to prove anything to myself. In fact, I'm going to enjoy this flow because this is the season that I have been fucking working my ass for. And is there one big project that's going to have a lot of my time, love, and attention? Absolutely. But I'm not putting pressure on it either. So my question to you as we wrap up today, whether you're listening to this at the end of the year or any time throughout the rest of the year, whenever this gets to you is exactly when you need it. The question is, do I want to make this move? Or do I feel obligated to make this move because I'm not used to things feeling good? Do I want to make this move, or do I feel pressured to do this because everyone else is moving? Do I want to make this move, or am I creating a mess so that I have something to fix or clean up? Remember, sometimes the bold move is not moving. It's simply sitting and basking and enjoying the big moves that you've already made. If you're still navigating what this next year looks and feels like for you, what is your right next move, then let's hop on a clarity session. It's a free 30-minute session, you and I, to figure out what the right next gutsy move for you is. And I might tell you, it's time to hold. You can book that session at LauraAura.com/clarity. Come connect with me on all the social platforms. My handle is @thatLauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, especially in 2026, stay gutsy.